Greetings, programs. This is Let's Code a Full 90, where we take the next hour and a half and dig into some code and try to make the world a little bit of a better place. I'm your host, Rob Menching, and today we're back into the Wix toolset. We took a little break. Tim Hewer joined me. We took apart a very old MSI of his and brought it back together. He's taking the week off. He's got to go find some more pieces of that. Maybe we'll get back to that project. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to have plenty of work left to do in the Wix toolset. So we're going to jump right back into that. If you remember 2 times ago, we were working our way through incremental build. So that's where we're going to be picking up where we left off. I have this to-do text that we've been talking about, or that we've been referring to, keeping track of all the work to get done. And I was kind of reviewing this beforehand and realized that the stuff that we had to talk about back in episode 5, we've solved all these problems up here. Problems with the file rights, we tracked all that down. The Wix libs not being incremented, or the merge modules behaving differently than Wix libs, we tracked that down to the granularity of the cab API and when the merge modules was being built. All right, that was great. Episode 6, we had some questions about MS Build all projects. We tackled a lot of these things in episode 7. And in the end, we did add these to our project references, such that edits to previous projects or reference projects would cause our builds to get updated. That was all good. And then on Bind Database, we found this code that was with this comment on it that was saying that this is not sufficient, and we ended up having to, we ended up rewriting all that, and that was solved a lot of the root of all our problems. So that was kind of a fun way all the way down to track down to. That was what we did. Things we had left over after episode 7 was copy files output. I still want to go look at this, go dig into common targets. This is an optimization to see if we can make our copy files to output directory more efficient. Not a big deal. I have this thing here to go consider if we need to open issue on this. This hasn't been happening. I haven't seen this repeatedly, so I'm thinking that maybe it was just a transit thing, or it got mopped up with another fix along the way. Then we had this: consider adding support for disposable file systems to keep track of our bin logs for our unit tests. And I have a solution for this coming in another change when I was tracking down a different problem. So we may close this. And then track down why the tests fail intermittently, and that was episode 9, or all of episode 8, as we broke out Procmon, and then episode 9 we really did, as I mentioned, track it down to the cab files being the cab file API having not quite the granularity of date time manipulations, so that we wouldn't be able to know whether the file was changing. So that was what we tracked down at the end. And then I had this thing here from episode 8 about trying to this cross-language pollution of build inputs and outputs, and something about trying to make the MSIs take longer to build, to see that if a change in the Japanese build taking longer than the English build, which is what our test was doing, if that ends up causing those to get into increment recompiles. So we're going to take a look at that, maybe even today. And then this last thing I wrote from 9 was see if we can get rid of this Wix project reference metadata project to get cleaned up as part of incremental builds, because it was actually showing up in our profiles when incremental build where nothing should be done. This was showing up at 190 milliseconds. So this is kind of a thing that I'm keeping in the backlog of a performance improvement we could try to do for the incremental build. I know 190 milliseconds isn't a lot, but on this small project it was actually sticking out. So it's something I'm going to kind of go dig into. All right, so to kick off I think I want to start here around this cross pollution thing, see if we can't get the build to take a little bit longer, because right now the Wix toolset is so fast. It's finishing within seconds, and so I want to try to make it take a little bit longer to run and see if there actually is a problem between the English and Japanese. I don't know if there is, but it just, looking at the inputs and the outputs, I was kind of worried that there might be something there. Besides having a test that takes, I don't want tests to take longer, but maybe having something that doesn't happen within a second is probably a good idea to have kicking around anyway. Which I think means I'm going to have to go track down a much larger binary file and see if I can get that to, can find something that will take longer in cabbing, because cabbing seems to be probably the easiest place that we can increase the build time consistently. I certainly don't want to check in a thread sleep inside the Wix toolset itself. So I think the easiest way will be compressing a very large file. See if we can get it to take a little bit longer there. All right, so I think that's where we're going to start. After that, I need to bring up my issues. Let's see here if I can bring up all of my Wix 4 issues that I have remaining, so we can kind of go back and look at what we're actually working on. If you remember, all of this is about these first 3 issues here at the top of my list. You guys have been on this journey with me trying to get rid of the oldest bugs that I have assigned to me in Wix 4, which also means there's a very high probability that it's the oldest bugs in all of Wix 4. Project of merge modules defending incremental build facility, and linking with binary Wixlib breaks incremental build, both of those. Once we get these kind of stable and are feeling good about it, which is what we've been working on, I then want to jump in and add the tag extension to the incremental build. So I have this hope that everything's going to work out well in the first part of this episode, and that we will then jump into the tag extension and fix all 3 of the ancient incremental build issues that have been plaguing the Wix toolset for, I don't know, ever, like Wix 2 even, probably, at least as long as we've been doing MS Build based builds, and before that I guess is Makefile, so who knows what it was like that. And yes, we did build with Makefiles at the very, very, very beginning of Wix 2. It was that long ago. Merge modules, binary Wixlibs, we're really close, if not there, and then we'll go drop in the tag extension and see if we can get that to work properly in incremental build, or possibly even it already just works. And there's a whole lot of work around tag extensions since it's changed quite a bit in Wix 4. All right, so where are we going to start? We're going to go drop back into our end-to-end tests here that we've been running over and over. And I ran them just before this to make sure that they would pass. And I was going to run them again real quick here and just make sure that they're still going. And then if this works, I'm going to have to go digging around to try to find some large file. We do have a test somewhere that I can try to go dig out that creates a 5 gigabyte file, and that's to push the boundaries of bundles, I think. I think the test is actually for bundles, which means it's not going to necessarily be in a place that we can use it here, but we can go kind of poke around and see what we find there. The other issue with that is that one of the big pieces of work that I have left to do for the Wix toolset is cab spanning. And of course, cabinets can go to a max of 2 gigs, and at 2 gigs, the whole process falls apart. So a 5 gigabyte file would need to be spanned across 3 cabinets at best. And without that feature re-implemented in Wix toolset, is just not done. We're not going to get very far with 5 gigabyte file. So we're going to be looking for something smaller. So I feel like we've kind of finally got ourselves into a solid state here, running along. The burn end-to-end test uses that test.exe to generate thousands. Uses the test.exe to generate thousands of empty files, and that can take a little while. Okay. Yeah, that's another option, is to generate lots of files. I was hoping I could find just one big file laying around somewhere that we could at least just test today, and then we'll go from there, because I don't really want to deal with putting a whole bunch of files in. All right, so this feels so much better. I feel like we've finally gotten somewhere. This is a long path. This is an interesting series of issues that we unraveled from all this. Also, I still have all that hack code, if you remember, as part of 2 episodes, did lots of work I added a whole bunch of little log messages throughout the system, jumping out the timestamps. We're going to have to remove that at some point. But I think we're good here. All right, cool. So let's go poking around just in our build folder real quick, in the Wix build folder itself. Let's see if I can bring up a command prompt here and open up the build Wix directory. This might be a little small. I'm just going to poke around. Let's see. Actually, I don't think any of our artifacts are that big. No, because they're all just caps. There's a 53 meg file, roughly. I don't know if that'll be enough. What's the easiest way to see the biggest files that are in here? I don't think anything in our samples is going to be very big. No. Thought I'd have a better idea. Are any of our logs that big? Binary logs are going to be too small. No, all the logs are too small. Just doing a quick jumping around. Guess we could just see if we find that exe. Where is that exe built to? The integrated. Where are the integration tests built to? Integration, burn, debug. Which one is it? No. Nope. Poking around. Win x86. Which one of these creates the test tool? All right, I'm gonna have to actually bring up the code, unless Sean remembers where the test exe actually gets built that I could, here he is. Fortunately, if I remember correctly, this thing doesn't spit out any information. No, it does. Hey, great, I'm glad to be wrong. It spits out tons of information. So this is a funky little test exe that lives, that is part of the tool set that generates files so that we can push different, mostly burn in different directions. So wait for a file to exist, exit code, milliseconds, log. Oh, I thought this would create that big file. Right, this is just running a series of commands for us, right? So this is the exe that gets embedded inside a burn engine to do a series of things. For example, write a file, sleep, create a log file, sleep, thing, and then exit with particular error code so you could test burn running an exe package. That's not what it is. All right, so let's just bring up code real quick so we can do a quick search here. And I thought it was like 5GB was the name of it. Hey, public void, K and cache 5 GB file. So there we go. You know what? We're just gonna steal this thing real fast. Test tool. If file exists, test tool path command when exists, arguments expected code that run. So, oh, I see. So we give it the log file, the target path of, and then we pipe in the 5GB file. Is that what that's doing? I obviously have not looked at this. Which of these creates the file? If not file exists, this creates it. Arguments, log file, path to file, pipe in 5GB. Am I reading that wrong? Is that not a pipe? Oh, I see. So is this a pipe character? And then you give it the number? If it's large file, not a log file. Okay, fine. So drop back to our large file creator. Let's see. Go here. Large file. It's going to tell me when I don't create the file, right? And that seems like it's a pipe. That surprises me that it's a pipe to come in. Target file path. I don't want, all right, let's give it a gig and see what happens. We'll give it a really big file. Let's see if we just give it the number. It is a pipe. All right. Separated by a pipe. So if that's true, then I have to, I see. And that's what the quote was for. Thus, it's inside the quoted path. Okay. All right. Term is not recognized as command or commandlet. Right. And I have to now remember how to do this in PowerShell. I thought that maybe it's just the single quotes. There we go. There we go. That's better. Yeah, it's not a shell pipe. Yeah, that was my mistake, Bob. Yeah, I was thinking that this meant pipe, and I was trying to figure out what was going on there. Right. Okay. Anyway, it's not. It's uses pipe to encode the file name. Whoop, jumping around here. Okay. So hopefully if we look now, I have a file called big file that is exactly as big as I said it was. Great. You know, we're just going to pull this in. We're going to drop that file as part of one of our unit tests, and we're going to see if we can just get this thing to build. Let's see. Oops, back to Visual Studio. End-to-end tests. Where do we want to put it? Because we have so many options here. Because we start at the Windows app at the top. And let's see if I open this. No, that's not what I wanted you to do. All right, go back, open my solution, please. Recent solutions, end-to-end test, thanks. I wanted to open this as text. If I double click it, is it gonna open as text? Yes, all right, fine. There we go. So this is project references to all of these different things. So we can put our file in any of these. Let's put it in the library just for giggles. We could also reference it directly in the app. Actually, let's put it in the app to start with. Yeah, let's put it in the app to start with. And then we will go from there. All right, so this source, big.file. Oh, that's not the right way to format that, you silly thing. Whatever, it's just gonna bug me, but it doesn't matter. Okay, it's just test code right now. It's not even gonna stick around. I'll have to come up with some other way of creating this. Okay, so this is in the package. So all of our tests should now hit this. So we can build package with incremental build with no edits. Yeah, this one. Let's go ahead and run this one again. Run. Show me, show me, show me that. Now what this is trying to do is slow down the MSI, the build enough. Creating a cab with a gigabyte file should definitely slow the build down enough that there should be a time between the EN build finishing and then the JAJP build starting and finishing. Because what I was seeing before was that these builds were so fast that they're essentially the same or nearly the same timestamp. And I just want to see if this works out right. If it does work out right, then I'll put some pauses in here, and I want to go look at the MS build log files just to make sure that the things are looking the way they should. Because really all of this is just I thought I saw this as I was passing by on the Wix targets, and I just want to dig into it a little bit. I wrote the note down, and I want to go dig into it a little bit just to make sure that everything is copacetic. Wow, this is taking longer than I thought it would to compress a gig file. Not that I really had an idea how long it would take, but there we go. Maybe I should have debugged it so I could see where it's at this point in time. Do. I need the Jeopardy music here in the background. I think this music maybe is a little chill for everything that's going on right now. Oh, come on. Wow. I definitely overestimated how fast the Wix toolset would run. Okay. To be fair, it did compress that file twice because we have both EN and EN US and Japanese in there. So, okay. Anyway, 1.5 minutes. We're definitely not keeping this as the test. Okay, so let's set a breakpoint in here. Let's go look. Yeah, runner execute with the build log. And if I remember correctly, this is the guy does everything. No, I always forget whether this one is disposable or not. No, this one is not. So the build log should still be around when we run. Right, this one does not a problem because it does not clean up after itself. Oh, web app, not up web applications. That one's gonna get skipped for a bit. Let's clean that up because we're in a good spot. We were skipping things back when we were worried about things. All right. I think that's good. Let's go ahead and open in terminal. Wait, didn't there used to be a reveal in, is it because they're linked files? It's probably because they're linked. Open in file Explorer. Huh. That was interesting. Test data. Windows application. Windows VCX project. Windows app. Make sure I'm looking at the right one. Windows VCX project. Windows app. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and debug this and make sure that things are working properly. Getting there, getting there, getting there. All right, so project directory is, okay, there, project bin path, clean up everything. All right, now our project path is here. So hopefully we will see, yep, there it is, okay. Now wait a minute here. I thought it said clean everything. Why is that still there? I'm gonna delete it just before we go. All right, here we go. One build. Don't think if I step into this, I'm gonna see much. Yeah, no, this is all running inside MS Build. So let's go ahead and let it run. And we should see an MS Build log in there now. Yay. And we'll let it go. This is the whole build, so this is gonna take another minute, right? Of course, assuming that the bulk of that last test was a minute long. I guess hashing whatever the compressed cabinet was would have been a bit too, taking a little bit of time. All right, look at bin. That's all empty because we're still building. If we look at OBJ, we're gonna see it doing things. Yeah, so we're all in ENUS right now. Doing the work, doing the work. Our cab is 24. I think it's gonna get a bit bigger here shortly. As soon as we get farther along through the process. What's the default compression level these days? That's a fair question, Bob. I don't know off the top of my head what the default compression level is. All right, that's a good sign. That was the merging. Everything. None of those files are big enough yet. There's the MSI. So now are we compressing into a bigger cab file? Do we have anything in the bin folder yet? Nope, it's not done. OBJ, debug. Oh, we're in the Japanese now. All right, so where is the cab that should be that big? Oh, that's KB, that's it, right? I just can't do math. No, that is only a meg, right? Where's the gig? Oh, did I embed it in the MSI? I didn't even look at the MSI size. No, MSI size is tiny. All right, so that took 88 seconds. Oh, it compresses really well. It's just zeros, right? So here I am going, why is this thing so small? And the answer is, yeah, right, Sean, it's all zeros. It's not randomized data. It's just take the file, make it this long. So it ends up compressing real well, but it does have to go through the 2 gigs worth of compression time. All right, great. And if we look at bin debug enus, there we go. All right, let's just open this cab. Details, view, details. Yeah, there we go. Size is the gig. Yep. All right, so if we look at ms build bin log. Okay, here we are again. Let's bump the size on this a little bit. And what am I looking for? There's the restore. I want to go look at this and just make sure that things look, I'm just poking around, honestly. I'm just poking around at this. So it builds that because the ENUS file doesn't exist, and it builds that for the JJP. That's both good, reasonable reasons to build. And then it goes off and builds, and it specifies the output file. Okay, top 10 most expensive tests. Anybody want to guess? Wix build, of course. All that compression. All right, that's great. That's the first one. That's honestly not the one that's going to be the most interesting anyway. But I'm going to copy this guy real quick, just so we have, we'll call him first. Okay, now he'll stick around, I think. I'm actually worried he's going to get cleaned again. Nope, okay. Everything's good. Everything is good. Now we're going to do another build here. Here we go. Okay, another build here, drop over. I'm actually going to delete the old log file. I should have just renamed it. Okay. And then, all right, do another build. Now this should happen really fast, right? Okay. Not as fast as I'd like. Not as fast as I'd like. Not as fast as I'd like. That's still taking a bit of time. So yeah, I definitely want to look and see what it's doing here. But we passed the test the last time, which means that the files were all the same. So it will be interesting if we look at this bin log to see why it takes this long to do an incremental on the second time around. Everything should be timestamp based. That's what MS-Build generally does. So it's not like we should be hashing any gigabyte files or anything. Anybody want to take guesses? What's taking so long? I'm not sure. This is concerning. It should not take this long to come all the way around. Kind of makes incremental build silly if it's going to take another 188 seconds to come back to the other side after we did all that work. And OBJ, debug. Yeah, all the files are still here. That took as long as the first one, which means it probably did a build. Okay, let's go look. Let's look at the build log and see if I tampered with anything just by poking around. Slide down here. Core compile. Package WXS is newer than the output file, cab1. Did I touch the WXS file? I mean, that's good. If I did touch it, that's exactly what should happen. Now, we should see this test fail now, because it should all be different. Oh, whoa. Okay, now what's going on here? Not equal what? With edits. Come on, Rob. Run the right test. I came from the top before, now I'm running from the bottom. All right, good. Dang it. With no edits. I slid from the... Okay, my bad. When I got in this file the first time, I paged down to this file, and I guess I hit Control-End and did it from the bottom. So now we get to redo all of that test again. All right. Okay. Well, you know what? We just proved that it worked. that everything is working and that I don't know how to control the computer. All right, let's clean this back out. And let's run this test. In the debugger. Go. Okay. Build started, nothing built. Now we should not be editing the file. Clean everything. Look over here. Yay, bin folders are gone. That looks good. Run MS build. Now we'll wait another 80 seconds. All right. Wish I had a story prepared. I didn't think about this taking 88 seconds. I should have gone and made a smaller file. That's what I should have done. I should have gone back and made that test file not a gigabyte. All right, if we do this again, we're definitely making it not a gigabyte. But at least this is proving that it's taking more than a second to get through. And hopefully, now that I'm running the correct test, right? I'm running the correct test, that when we come back through, this second build should happen very quickly. Yeah, should be incremental and not do work. Whew. Give myself a little bit of a concern there. All right. Run. Go fast. All right, so if this works, then that means that my concern, I feel pretty good that my concern about the ENUS and JJP overlap is not an issue, which I at one point convinced myself that it's not an issue, and then I wasn't sure, and then I went, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go in and make sure that we verify that there's really no differences there. If this works, then we're going to go jump in and add a tag to these projects, a software tag, and make sure that it also passes the incremental. So one of the things, since this is running in the background, one of the things I've been debating is, do I need to create a whole nother test for just tag incremental, or do I just add the tag to these existing tests and throw the whole kitchen sink in at this thing? Do you guys have opinions in chat? I'd be curious. Like, should I create another test that does all these builds basically the same way, but have tags in them, where the first time they don't have tags in them? I'm not sure. Part of me is like, it's an integration test. Just throw it all together. One big test. It'll be maybe a little bit of a mess, but it'd be better than running these things over and over, especially since they do take, I think we saw the normal runs, not these runs, but the normal ones are even taking a second or more there. All right, again, just for sanity, although this has led to insanity once. All right, build the Wix project, and we're going to see the core compile because it does not exist and does not exist. Yep, clean build, everything's going again. 2 commands, building 2 different MSIs. All good. All right. Did I put the UI extension back? I think Bob removed it from those particular build issues. I'll double check that, Sean. There's system tested point, so minimize the count, the runtime. Got it. All right. So Bob's kind of leaning that way. All right. Moment of truth, and then we'll go, and before we go to the DAG thing, we'll go make sure the UI is back. All right. Restore and build. Go fast, please. Double check that I got the log file out of the way. I did. Go fast. Go fast, please. Yes. I'll take a second and a half versus the 88 seconds. That's a massive return on investment. Let's see here. Blow this up for you guys. Really wish it would remember that I zoomed it in, but whatever. Core compile, happy. All the files are up to date. And it works for both Japanese and English. That's good. All right. So Sean was saying that I put the UI extension back in. Let's go double check that and make sure. Finish tests, please. Oh, I guess you're hashing the files now? Yeah, okay, fine. But they're small. Whatever. This package has a merge module in it. And that, and that, and that. And yes, it looks like the UI ref has been removed. So let's go ahead and add the UI ref. Is the, oh yeah, the package reference is missing as well. All right, so let's see. Package reference equals include equals Wix toolset dot UI dot Wix ext, and I hope it's in our collection of our, what is it? The directory dot packages dot. Let's see here. They had a UI ref because they weren't used. They had a UI ref. True, but I am still way behind. This branch is still way behind. I thought there was gonna be an interesting experiment to try to bring it up to present. Let me see. I'm gonna take a quick poke at. Here's my branch. This might be way too small. Sorry, I don't have a way of making this UI bigger. This is one of my favorite ways to view it. So we're down here on this branch, and fixed languages and burn harvesting. Bob, central CAA core exit. Bob, version extension IDs, fixed table names. Yeah, I don't. Do you know, Bob, what the name of the test, what the commit was? I feel like that's been much more recent than anything that I've pulled in. Yeah, last time I pulled in was February 3rd. So that's, I'm back here. February 3rd. That should be long enough ago, right? I'm hoping. So I can just toss a UI ref in real quick and see what happens. January 29. All right. So I need to then pull it in. Jan 29. Jan 30 maybe. No. All right. Well, then I have to go figure out how to do that then. So gonna need the UI extension up here. if you're missing the UI ref, then you already have his changes. I see, because that was removed as part of his changes. Got it, that makes sense. But it wasn't upgraded to the new thing, right? So I have to get the namespace, colon UI equals /UI, I think, right? Oh, it's so... All right, I haven't looked at the changes you made, Bob, so I'm gonna have to go poke at probably, let's see. Source extensions, code UI, yeah, code. I don't want all those directories, I want that. All right, let me go look at this UI extension, maybe the test and test data, and I want minimal UI because that would be just fine. And there's the UI, Wix UI. That, you know, if I was to guess, that's probably what I would have typed. I just didn't trust myself. So back to Visual Studio, put our UI back in. UI Mix UI. Okay. All right. So now we have Wix UI included here in this package. So what does this do? This just means we can build again. So what are we going to do? We're going to take out our big file. That's, come on, comment out. There we go. That was way harder than it should have been. All right, what have we done? We've added UI minimal. We've taken our large gigabyte compression step out, and we're just going to run all the tests again, see what happens. By the way, this yellow skipped one down here is the, if you remember the little bit ago, we failed unexpectedly. That's not a good sign. So I guess we're gonna be debugging something. The incremental build for web projects, because we're trying to do a publish, and publish isn't incremental. So that's a future problem to solve for new functionality. Let's get this one working again. All right, package with native Windows apps. So this is right where we were. No, this is even simpler. Oh, we can't even build. Okay. This is going to be the thing I'm working on right now, I bet. Oh, your request could not be authenticated to GitHub package service. Assure that you're... Why am I going to the package service? I have these local. Do I not? Ooh, this is very odd. Unexpected, I would say. Okay, well, I don't want to be going to the package service. I want the ones that are used as part of this build. All right, so I have to open a File Explorer over to my NuGet packages and see what do I have for Wix Toolset UI over here. I have build 205 present. What build am I running on right here? Let's look at directory packages.props. What build? Yes, this is all 205. Okay. That explains why it's picking 205. Now, what number am I actually here? Let's go look at the build now. Start build artifacts. And the NuGet packages I built are 205. Okay. I keep opening these notepads, old habits. I have this code that's open to everything, right? Yes, so NuGet.config. No, it's not the one I want, but it's near the one I want. NuGet config. Yeah, so it's supposed to be pulling from the build artifacts. Okay, why did it choose to go to... Why did it choose to go to GitHub? There's not a NuGet artifacts in the test folder, is there? source test. No, and none here. Oh, Either way, we're not pulling in the Wix NuGet package, so okay, what am I missing that suddenly made this decide it wants to go restore from the official locations? Oh, this is falling back to my own. I updated my own. This is using the public. Okay. This I think is my machine configuration getting in the way. I probably added the Wix toolset repository because I've definitely been working with it locally. All right, let me look at the sources over here. NuGet sources, that's what it is. All right, NuGet sources, and then I forgot. It's just help sources. All right. NuGet sources. Sorry, I have to go disable. Which one of these is, how do I disable here? Name, oh, there it is. All right, NuGet sources, disable, name, Wix toolset. NuGet sources. Okay, let's see if that helps it run. Interesting, my local configuration conflicted with the Wix toolset one. Yeah, all right, let me, just for the sake of getting this working, this is going to be an interesting thing to sort out then going forward. I think the issue, well, that doesn't make sense. It should be picking up the NuGet config, the local NuGet config. All right, I'm going to add this as a source real quick. NuGet sources, add that. Invalid arg, dash source. All right, dash name, dash source. All right, was added successfully. I wonder if I have to refresh Visual Studio for it to pick them up. Is it still picking them up from the same place? It should be, no, it should be an MS build invocation. Okay. Your request could not be authenticated with GitHub. Yeah, I don't know why you're going to. Wow. Why did it decide to go there? Why is it not using, Every week there's something new. All right, I'm just going to close this Visual Studio just to get the caching possibility out of the mix. Wix test indicate code. All right. They should be using the NuGet config, the standard NuGet config, which clears everything and uses ours. Run. All right, let's run it again. You're gonna fail the same way. Same way. No, this one I said. Where are we running from? What an interesting problem. Okay, so project path is, it is in the build folder. Okay. And the build folder will bypass our NuGet config because our NuGet config is in the source directory. I'm gonna copy our NuGet config. So here's our NuGet config. I'm gonna copy this down a directory. All right, now let's see if he'll be happier with that. Run it again. Well, I got a different error. The local source let's go build reference does not exist. Okay, that's true. Oh, because I did dot dot. All right, fine. I copied the NuGet.config. That means it worked. Copying the NuGet config there worked. The problem is that what I copied was something that's meant to be in the source directory. The build directory is right here. All right. I wonder why I hadn't seen this before, because we weren't doing a package reference before. Okay, determine projects to reference this. Unable to find UI with version preview 1, build 0. Found one in NuGet with that. Okay, that's great. They found the one in the official NuGet that we released with preview 0. I do want preview 1, build 205. So I could have sworn we looked at the build folder and saw that it was there. Did I over? Wix UI. Okay. 40-preview 1 build 205. Okay, now you've got me. Let's open this. Let's look at the new spec. No, not gonna let me do that. Fine. Double click. Open official steel code. That'll be fine. We'll open in restricted mode because it doesn't matter. There it is. 400 preview 1 build 205. What the? Well, that's correct. Oh, it found what? Wait. Oh, okay. Read the whole message. I need to specify that. Fine. It's not picking it up from directory.package versions. So all this that I'd hoped it would pick up from here, it chose not to. There, 40. Why this didn't find our directory.packages.props file is a mystery. But now I'm putting in the number I want. It found the one in build. That's the one I want. This one out of build. Please use that. And please work. Just incremental build for me the first time. All right. Fine. One more time. That didn't actually do an incremental build, by the way. That was just a straight up can it build. These other two red dots are the ones that we want to see pass. Oh, run all. Fine. No, run all. I don't like this UI. I don't have ncrunch working on here, so I haven't tried it. Same problem as NuGet config. It's in source, not root. Yeah, I'm just curious. I feel like I had the UI in the package ref in here before. It's not. Oh, same problem, right? It's not. It's in source, not in root. So we're running the test. Oh, thank goodness. Yay. All right, so I have a new process problem here. And that because all the tests are running out of the build tree, they're not rooted in the source tree, and the source tree is where the version information is all being held together if we want to reuse that. Okay, fine. I'm gonna look at that. I don't know what I want. I don't really want to take the things out of source and put them in the root, only because I'm trying to keep the root clean, not for any reasons, but I wanted to think about this a little bit. What is the best way to do this here? But incremental build worked. That's good. That means, as it should. Okay, so ignoring all the build process problems I had getting it in the right spot due to the config files being one level too deep for the tests to be able to find them, because the test code is copied to the build directory and then run out of the build directory, which is a peer of source as opposed to necessary source. All right, so ignoring all that build process nonsense, incremental build worked on a package reference, which is to an extension, as it should, because an extension just has a binary wixlib in it. And since we fixed binary wixlibs by extension, pun here, or whatever, the extension should also have worked. So that's good. The difference, of course, being that the wixlib is streamed out of the extension. So that's a little bit different, but it all worked properly. And that's good. That's very good. That's very, very, very good. Sorry, I'm just enjoying the moment for a little bit that something finally works. And it's some of the older bugs in Wix that have been plaguing us forever. So it's kind of nice to kind of sit here and just look at and admire this, MS Build Wix project, which is really tiny, that has a reference to all these different projects. A Wix project that has a merge module, a Wix project that is a Wix lib, and a straight up reference to another project, a normal project reference to anything else, and a package reference. And incremental build is working also with multilingual Ian and Japanese being built. So let's try to go break it one more time by adding tags to the mix. Okay, so the thing about tags is that tags used to be done in extension, and decided to bring them into a core. In Wix 4, we decided to bring them into a core part of the language. And in so doing, that means that it's kind of the opposite of what we just had to do for the package here, where UI ref used to be the way that you'd go off and pull the minimal UI in. Now you use an extension to pull in the UI. Well, we need to do the opposite for tag. We no longer use an extension pull in tag. We just reference the tag directly. And I don't have the tag syntax memorized in my head, so I need to go look at that. So I figured we'd take this opportunity to go update the documentation for tag. So it could relearn all of that again and check off one more element. I think it's only one more element, but a number of attributes. Get that checked off from our documentation list, just kind of as a throwback to what we did before, and then come back and try to add it here and see what we get. And then we'll see how much time we have left when all that is done. But so what we're going to do, we're going to go switch to documentation, which we haven't done in so long, I know. I'm going to make a clean slate here, minimizing all these things. Wait, actually I'm going to close some of these because we don't need all of them. All right, that's the UI. We don't need that UI anymore. We'll use that command prompt. We thank you very much for your help there. We'll keep that extension over. We're done with this folder thing, and we are, I don't even know what that was for. All right, and we will probably need the Wix itself. So let's go take one of our command prompts here. This one, I think. No, I want the other one. Where's the other one? There we go, the big one. And we'll go take it over to the website where the documentation is. And rock and roll. All right, so this keeps popping open. I'm tired of that. A working tree. I don't want working tree. I want the real file. No, I don't want any help. Thank you very much. All right, here's our Wix XSD, and if we search in here, I'm pretty sure we won't find an element. This is for bundles. There's an attribute called tag on bundles, and there's the thing that says, hey, software tag. Look, we already set ourselves up to finish or to write that, but we're not going to find it anywhere else. Tag as a word. Add tag is what? Is this what is that? INI file. Interesting. Add tag for INI file. Percentage. Great. Oh, and then we're back to the beginning. All right, cool. So let's go grab software tag. And to grab software tag, we're going to look both in the compiler, but we're also going to look in the tag XSD. Can I get this big enough to be useful? Maybe. So there's our tag XSD. Whoa, you were supposed to be, you took over Wix XSD. Stop that. Software tag, there we go. Okay, so what used to be called tag, because it was just a tag in the software tag namespace, is now part of the Wix namespace, and it's now called software tag. Pretty sure. So let's go figure out what code we're going to write now. Here. Let's see. Software tag. Let's go jump into the compiler. And in the core, the compiler. And I'm pretty sure, yep, left compiler tag. So put all the tag stuff in its own partial class so that the compiler was no longer 50,000 lines long or whatever it was. And we have them here. Okay. I'm going to start with the package tag just because parse package tag. There it is. Software tag. Great. Underneath the package tag element. Is that the only place it is here? It is. So you can only have a software tag under the package tag. Fine. So that simplifies our documentation a bit. Sorry. You can only have the software tag under the package tag, or you can have the bundle version of that, and that's only underneath the bundle element. I shouldn't say you can only have software tag under the package tag. You can have it only under the package or the bundle, and that's it. Great. Let's see. So all the code is being parsed in here. I want to start with the MSI one, and we will break them down. Okay, so that's that. Let's just poke through here real quick. ID. As symbol, install directory, file, so that's the file that we're going to be adding, file name, attributes. Where is the, this all gets generated much later. Forget, these are just bits and pieces that then gets generated later. So that's the feature it gets hooked to, install directory, install path. Oh, this is only valid on bundles. That's what that's saying. Okay, great, that makes sense. So you pick a directory identifier, great. And then you pick the bitness. Yep, that's great. Oh, thank you, Bob, for pointing out that I've made this too small. Here, I'll make it smaller. Nope, sorry. There we go, bigger text. Keep forgetting how to reset these things up. So, all right, so that's software tag, element, ID, name, reg ID, feature, install directory, and bitness are the attributes we're looking at. Let's go see how close the old documentation was for that. So here's tag, had name. Do we still have, I didn't see name. Was I missing it? Oh, name. All right, so name is a file name, reg ID, that's the same feature. Licensed. Whether software requires license. Wait, did we lose licensed? Okay. I think that's a throwback to the old way of things. Now I'm getting nervous there. Licensed, and then the tag type. Yeah, that's old too. Oh no, did we? I feel like this is the old SWID tag. This is like before the second spec, and they got rid of all these things. So name, feature, component patch, processor. Oh boy, we're gonna have to go look at the actual tag code to make sure, or the generation code to see if, yeah, this is missing directory too. Woo. I think this is the ISO. No, that says -2, so that's a good sign. All right. Oh boy. Here I was thinking this is going to be no big deal. We're just going to go look at the code, grab the documentation and pull it out. And instead, I'm now uncertain if the documentation, or if this code, as it got pulled out of the Wix3 code, got pulled out, what happened. Probably want to look at the v3 XSD. Yeah, I'm actually think I have to look at the the v3 XSD. That's a good, because the Wix web is so old. That's not a bad idea. I was thinking I might have to go look at the Wix3 code itself. Let's see, source Wix3. I don't know what's in here. Source. Let's see. Gotta go running around here. Tools. I think it's in Wix. No, it's in the extension. This is back when it was still an extension. Extension. Tag extension. Do we keep the XSDs here? Yes. Wix extension. XSD. And then we'll grab this file. So the website could be too old to even have the 1907. Yeah, this looks reg ID. Yay. Good call, Sean. This is it. What happened here is that this tag in XSD and Wix 4 was created so long ago that it was before the ISO, I forgot what they called it, the second draft of the spec. The 2015 draft of the spec. Oh gosh. Came out. When the 2015 came out, they changed the way that they changed everything about the output. So we had to go change everything on our side. All right, cool. Very good call. So let's grab this over and then let's go. We don't have software tag in here anywhere, right? Nope. Okay. So let's bring this attribute in. Guess I could have deleted the whole comment. And is there software tag above? No, there's only one here. Software tag in this is in package. Good. I'm gonna go find bundle real quick. Wow, home row. Bundle. Bundle, there we go. And I want to add software tag here because we saw that they're both in. All right, great. Now, let's go look at where we put software tag. SO standard directory. So before standard directory sounds good. Exit element, standard directory. And after directory of, the structure of this thing is disappointing. Always is. All right, I'm putting it alphabetical for now. All right, so I think I want most of this documentation. And these were both deprecated. Groovy. I am down with that. Okay, we're gonna bring the software tag element over here. Well, we're gonna bring the tag element over here. And we're gonna change it to software tag. Software tag, expand, with that. So it's tag, and then to a product, no, not a product, a package or a bundle. Namespaces, we don't have those parent namespaces anymore because we are now in the one and only Wix namespace. Why are you all quadruple spacing now? Because the old one was? Yeah, probably. All right, let's go ahead and drop down. Pull all these guys back a couple. Delete our deprecated ones. There we go. And let's read through and make sure they all work, because Win64 is definitely wrong. Software tag. Did I get you guys in the mix? Sorry. That's the annotation. Documentation came too far. Okay. Complex type. Attribute name string. Used for that or the package name. That's still correct. Are they? But we already have, yeah. So those namespaces, Sean, are, you're right. Those are saying that, but they are telling you what elements to put them under, but they're only necessary when they're in a extension namespace to hook up into the documentation, the back references. Now that we're all in the same namespace, the fact that these are children of the bundle and product above should create the references all over, I hope. Because that's all. We should be doing a lot of that because we do not create all those back references normally. Let's go look. Yeah, because this was the parent namespace. We shouldn't be maintaining parents inside this one namespace all over the place. That's necessary on that file. If so, we need to update our tooling to generate that, because we're not going to be able to do that. Yeah, I updated the package element, and then, or the package element was already there. I just had to comment it in, and then I went and put it into the bundle real quick. Yeah, all right, so that's attribute. And let's make sure I read all this. The name to use in the file name for the software type by default, the file name uses the bundle or package name. Fix that. The bundle or package name contains invalid file characters, such as use this attribute to provide a valid file name. Okay, there we go. Reg ID. This is the reg ID. This is a software tag concept. Is the URL simplified for common things? Yes, we did explain all that. So the www prefix is as necessary. For example, the Wix toolset reg ID is wixtoolset.org. Yes, it is. Install directory, reference to the directory ID where the SWID tag will be installed. That's good. Install path where this will be installed for that on a software tag element found under a bundle. This attribute is required when found under a package element. Alrighty then. Feature, optional attribute to explicitly set the feature. All right, if you don't set it in a package, the default will be always installed to a top level hidden feature. It is recommended to not set this attribute. Great. Win64 isn't the way we do things anymore. I'll go find the comment that we write for bitness everywhere. Does this line up? Attribute. That did not line up. Why aren't these lining up anymore? What did I do wrong? Oh, there's a complex type. Did I chop the complex type out? Look over here in the tag. That's it. Okay, cool. How did I get the element and not the complex tag? What did I paste? Okay. Attribute that. Documentation is fine. This is crazy. That is better. All right, we need to go find the bitness example. All right, where am I at? 8356, go find bitness. Bitness, there we go. Control G. 8356, go. There we go. All right, now we have bitness. So we use bitness instead of Win64. Bitness is more precise to specify whether it's 64-bit or 32-bit package or component. So yes, I want most of this. I want most of that too. All right, I need to get the paragraph correct here. You are too narrow for me to read. Okay, there we go. None of this is fair. Overrides the default scripting host. Don't care. The default value is default. Right. Default value is this attribute is only allowed when it's under a package element, not product. Package. You go away. The default value is default, where the tag will be installed. Oh, okay, I can't. I got it. All right, let's get this part right. It's trying to write it backwards. It doesn't work. Attributes facilitates the installation of packages that install both 32-bit and 64-bit files. Set this attribute to always 32 to indicate software 32-bit location, such program files folder, or yes when the tag, or yes, or always 64 when the tag is installed to a 64-bit location. The default location is based on the platform set by the R switch to can. Or the installed platform setting is built. For x86 ARM, for x86 the default value is, I don't like the way that's written. The default value is default, where the tag will be installed to the directory that matches the same bitness as the package. All right. Is that okay, Bob? I can't tell Bob's cringing. I can't hear him. Normally I can tell if I hear these like sounds, just silent sounds. I can hear just the pressure through the headphones whenever he's watching me try to make words happen on the screen, and it's not going fantastic. We don't normally, I guess we do. Yeah, okay. I like that word force there. What was it? 8356, I think. To force the software ID tag to a 32-bit location, or always 64, to force the tag to be installed to a 64-bit location. Missing a few places where it's referring to old tag instead of new software tag element. I'll have to go figure out what that means. Installed to force the tag to be installed to a 64 location. 64. The vault value is based. Okay, and I don't think we say this anymore. The default value is default, where the tag will be installed to the directory that matches the same business package. This attribute is only allowed on a software. I think that's what it means. Software tag element found under the package element. All right. So let's go back up here and look at the word tag, use of word tag. A SWID tag, a software ID tag, swid tag, tag element, software tag element, swid tag, software tag element, software ID tag, software ID tag, tag, software ID tag element, and then we're off to percentages again. That's good. All right. So what does that do? I think the other part of this is we get to delete this XSD. Boom. All right. And we're done here. Yeah. Because we got rid of the concept of tag ref. And that is that. Okay. Boom. Ooh. All right. So with that in place, that says that we're going to add this to a package. Software tag name, but we don't have to give it a name because it'll use the product name, so that's optional. We have to give it a reg ID, so we'll give one. We install directory. This attribute is required. Okay, so we'll need one of those. All right, so we need to create a software tag element with a reg ID and the install directory, and that's it. Everything else will be taken care of for us. Yay. Before we do that, actually, no. Let's go do that first before I forget how to type that. All right, let's see. Is this my correct file? Package WSS? Yes, it is. Software tag, please. Reg ID equals, what did I say? Wix toolset.org. That's reg ID. What do we have to do? Oh, install directory. Install directory equals, what do we show? Application folder? Application folder is great. That was it, right? That was everything software tag needed. Install directory. We don't features optional. Name is optional. Software tag. All right. As long as our name doesn't have any funky characters in it, it's whatever's being loked, so it's probably fine. Yeah, that doesn't even have spaces in it. That's great. Okay. Well, let's see if I built that correctly. Let's go run our one. I think it's this one. Okay, build. Go. Huh, okay. What failed? Oh, illegal characters in the path. Ooh. What process package software tags execute? Well, we were just talking about having to give it a file name that's valid, and I thought we did. Okay, well, that'll be a fun thing. We'll go run that down. I guess we're going to be debugging the tag code a little bit today. Or not. We'll see. Yeah, 15 minutes, that might be what we're doing next. I don't know. All right. But it got far enough that it got through the compiler, and it got to the back end, which is where it then generates this code. This is all the way from the back. Illegal things. Let's see. Illegal characters in the path. That's funny. Bind process software package tags command dot execute. How do we want to debug this? Well, I guess we'll just jump back over to Wix and create a test, since apparently there's not a test for software tag. That's what we're going to do. So we don't have to catch it in the integration build. We'll go check it over in the actual closer to the compiler build. All right, that's fine. Let's see. What else was I going to do? Oh, before we left here, docs helper. Woohoo! Wix completed. We get to add to this list software tag as completed, and that tells us what's remaining here. Right. Now, this is just Wix remaining. Yeah, okay. Now at the same time, by finishing the software tag element, we also took out the tag XSD completely. So I think we can just delete this line. It's not coming back. It'll be out of our list of completed and remaining. So I think that's the other thing we get to do here, is we get to delete an entire XSD's worth of editing work ahead of us, and it's gone. So yay. Software tag is a single element. We added it. I'm going to put it up here with about where it's at. And we check off that entire XSD over there. So win, I think. Great. Okay, well, I didn't expect this, but I think the next step will be, we don't need to, I brought this doc helper back up just so I could keep track of this. I'm very happy. All right, so I'm gonna close this now. We're done with him. This is the end-to-end test, so we need to get this working, but to do so, we need to get this passing. All right, let's see. No, everybody's gonna fail. There's no point in actually running any more tests. All right, so that means we need to go over and get a repro in the unit test for the Wix core down to buying a process package software tags command. And hopefully, hopefully we can get this very simple example to reproduce there. And then if it reproduces, then we can fix it, hopefully data build, and then it will pass here. And we will be that one step closer to being able to verify the incremental, whether we have incremental build working for all three of the issues that I hope we do, merge modules, Wix libs, and the tag extension. So let's jump over back to Wix where I brought it up, thinking we'd need it only for the compiler, but it turns out we need it for more tests. So we'll go jump over the Wix. I think I'm going to drop it in an integration. Yeah, see, there is a tag fixture. Troubling. The fact that this is passing and that's failing is troubling. All right, that's a build a package with it. That's build a bundle with a tag, and that's that. That's kind of funny. We just eat the result right there. Okay. Bummer. Bummer. What do we do now? I guess. Well, so what's different? One of the things I noticed that was different is that we do have a loc file in the name here, or a loc variable in the name here. So that could be part of it, since the name is coming from there. So I guess we'll try adding a loc variable to our test. Can I do that? Yeah, let's see. Let's just try real fast if we drop a loc variable into this. So into the test product tag. So test data product, really? Product, cute. Product tag. And then product with tag. There's our software tag, install directory, product name. So let's see how far we get if we run this package name without any loc files. Oh, we have a loc file. Awesome. Let's just add the same package name real quick. Just trying to get this to reproduce. Package name, that. Awesome. Package name. Woohoo, great. We are closer than I thought we might be. Great, product with tag, software tag fixture. All right, extensions, ncrunch, please come back and show me your window. Let's see tests. Let's see if I can snap him here on the side. Oh, enable. Extensions, ncrunch, enable, go, zoom. All right, so while he's spinning up, let's take a look at what we got. So build a product tag, build inquiry. So we're going to do a build inquiry and get that out. Software ID tag. Okay. Well, this will be interesting. If this doesn't reproduce, we're gonna have to go drop in and debug, I guess, the command line. We could do that. We'll just grab the command line that the MS build is spitting out for that test and see if we can run it by hand. All right, that's good. So you can see over here in Crunch, building everything, checking it off. Now it's going to turn on and run the test. There we go. Built the test, and now it's running them all. And I want to see these white lines turn green here to show the software build action. Actually, I want to see this one turn red. Good. To say that it failed, because I changed the name, so the tag probably would change. And ideally, yeah, it's just changing the hash. It changed the name, right? So this is saying that it worked, right? Because we changed the name of the package from underbar tilde tag test package to Wix project native test app. Oh, did I get too much? Yeah, I did. What? Wait. What? Sweet, huh? Interesting. Oh, sweet. Oh, that's the. Got it. Did I copy? Oh, I did. I got the vertical bar on the eye. Okay, there we go. So that. Oh. 449. Oh, because it's bigger? Yeah, I suppose it will be. 44912. That many more characters makes it that much bigger. Now I'm curious, what is it actually spitting out? All right, show me these lines again. There's tabs in there. I'm curious why this changed as much as it did. Files, software ID tag. 465 T212. Okay, that's better. Oh, then the software identification tag itself change? No, shouldn't. Yeah, that's right. All right. So the results should be 465. Okay, let's try that then. I thought that was a little big. 465. Four, 6, 5, 1, 2. Line 1. What am I missing that changed here? I know that's way too small for you guys to see. Results 3, file ID. File that's the actual. What am I comparing against? Tag, EPRY, yeah. Oh, my short file name changed. Of course. I do miss, in our new line by line thing, I do miss the little arrow that points out the first character that is different. Let's see if this helps it get somewhere. Oh, did I get rid of the T? Got rid of the T. There we go. Tab character. All right. What am I missing? If I copy this and I paste it into Notepad. Did the file name change? No. That name is the same. Tab, this name. Oh, well then. QC, what am I missing here? SWID tag. Oh, this is missing SWID tag. Good grief, I just can't read today. All right, there we go. Fine. All right, all that just to prove that it is correct with the loc variable in there. Everything is working as it should. All right, so that means we need to go debug the failure in the end-to-end test and then see what we can see from there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this test, get its log file so I can see the command line is passed into wix.exe and then try to drop that back in. Zoom, zoom. Oh, I did run, not debug. I was like, what? All right, yes, that's true. Run, execute, do that, go. All right, here we go. Back to our, wherever we're at, project path. The bin log here. All right, that's good. And then this, thank you. Holy cow, look at that build command line. Woo! Not small at all. I hope it'll fit in the debugger when we bring it back over to Wix. Okay, so where are we gonna go? We're gonna go to the Wix project itself. Properties. Debug, open. I'm not sure about this new UI. All right, replace that thing with that thing and grab my project folder again and make that the current folder. Oh, this UI. Can I make it bigger? At least I can make it bigger. Oof. Okay. That should be that. Do I just close it? I feel like there should be a save button, but all right, there we go. And set Wix as the startup project. And let's hit F11. Here we go. Please step into the code. All right, I can see Wix.exe open here on the other window, so that's good. And well, let's go see what's, can I just run it? Let's look at exception settings, throw, comment, yeah, just throw on every exception that you hit. I might hit too many. Some of them are handled. So that was fast. I did not hit that too quick. All right, so what's wrong with this path name? Whoa. What the? What? Comma, EH, question mark. All right. That's fascinating. So that's the file symbol for the extension itself. Did I do something like crazy silly? Well, all right, either way, this exception is terrible, so I have to get at least a better error message in here. Wow, that is bad. Okay. Close. Go up a project, Windows app, Wix proj. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I know, the test failed. Out of my way. Out of my, come on. Can we close, please? Thank you. Wow, that took entirely too long to shut down debugging. All right, package name, that. Loc, that. Oh, here it is. It's Japanese, is that failing? Okay. Fine. No problem with that. Oh, I know what's happening. This is kind of a systematic thing in the Wix toolset that at some point we're going to have to sit down and reconcile. So bang parent loc dot whatever is a loc variable which happens during bind time. So it happens very late, which allows us to compile once and then create different loc files at the end. Anyway, it happens so late that it happens after the compiler has done all the checks on the input. So the compiler says, looks at this and goes, oh, it's a loc variable. That's no problem. I'll let it through because I know the value for that is going to come from somewhere else later during the bind process, namely a Wixel file. It's going to come from a Wixel file later. So I don't need to check the value of this. That's not going to be its final value. So it goes along. The binder does its job. It replaces all the loc variables and it continues processing. The problem is that the check for this to be a valid file name happened in the compiler when it said, hey, you have your software tag's name is going to be whatever the name of this is. And it said, oh, I'm going to skip it because it's a loc variable. But it needs to have said, oh, let me look at the value of that loc variable, or rather, someone needs to at some point look at the value of that loc variable and say, is that a valid file name? The compiler would have done it. If it wasn't a loc variable, the compiler would have said, oh, that's foo ? .text. You can't have foo ? .text as a file name because question mark's an invalid character. Done. So bind variables can bypass all of the checks that are in the compiler, which is how you can get in situations like this where you have an invalid character. And in my case, you have an invalid character, not in ENUS, which is the Wixel I checked, but in the JAJP Wixel that I checked, or did not check the first time until now. So the binder in general, anything that can come from a loc variable needs to essentially redo the validation for that attribute the same way the compiler did, because it can be bound so late. And we've had problems before with, there's actually a bug open on me right now about bundles. The upgrade code for bundles was not being put into a standard GUID format, and then that was, Burn was getting the same GUID recognized as two different GUIDs because we didn't put braces on it in both cases or something like that. And it was just like, well, that was not smart at all. And it was all because loc variables and bind variables as well can bypass all those checks. So we have to, essentially means that anything that can be localized, we have to recheck those values. I just don't know how to feel about that, but something like that's going to have to be done. We have the same problem with GUIDs. Yeah, we have the same problem with GUIDs. Yeah, the bundle upgrade code is the one I remember. Components probably can do the same thing. All right, so what am I going to do? I'm going to add to our to-do text here, episode 11. Found another case where loc bind variables can bypass the validation done by the compiler and create terrible failure cases. Today it was a loc variable used in the package name that then flowed into the software tags name that contained invalid file name characters and caused the SWID tag file generation to fail, to throw with invalid file name exception or something to that effect. All right, so we need to solve that problem, but you know what? It's been an hour and a half. So I think we're done here for today. What have we done? We validated that it does look like things are holding together on the incremental build for MSIs, for binary Wix libs and merge modules and software tags. We updated the documentation for software tags and we got a test in, and you know what? We're going to push it one little thing, because we can fix this problem by just removing the question mark here. Let's do this. JP. All right. I just realized I could bypass this really fast while I could. So then we hit this problem with software tags where we found yet another case where loc variables can sneak through and create invalid source packages. We tried to recreate a test for that, found that all the tests were passing as they would, because, well, we didn't realize the problem was the loc variable bypassing all the checks. So there's something to create a test for and then decide how we're going to solve that. And in the very last dying moments, we wrote down the to-do text of that problem just so we can remember what happened here today. Commemorate it? I don't know. Remember. And then I pushed the button to try to run. And from here, we're going to say goodbye as these tests slowly work their way up. Oh! And they're not going to pass. So, well, okay. Wait, one of our incremental builds passed, the other one did not. Run again. One, 2, 3. Still failed. All right. I guess we'll have to come back next week. All right. Until next week. You know I'm going to be coding. I'm not going to be coding on this. I'm going to be coding on a whole bunch of other bug fixes I have in Wix, including I'm fixing a build process problem, which is kind of fun, with the Wix PDBs, and then I'm getting back into the exe package detect condition. So that's where I'm at. That'll be enough probably until next week. Next week we'll solve a Wix meeting. So until then, you guys keep coding. You know I am.